Hello student, myself Nivesh Prabhakar. Welcome to Antenna and Propagation lecture series. In this lecture, we will discuss about the relation between directive gain, radiation resistance and effective length. Then we discuss about the types of antenna aperture. Then next we discuss about the antenna polarization, types of polarization, and last we discuss about the antenna temperature. So in this lecture we discuss about this topic. So now first we start with the relation between directive gain, that means directivity, radiation resistance and effective length. Now we consider two antenna, and first one antenna directivity is the D1 and the second one antenna directivity is the D2. We also consider the antenna 1 maximum effective area of antenna 1 is the AE1 maximum and AE2 maximum is the maximum effective area of the antenna 2. We can write D1 is proportional to AE1 maximum, and also same as we can write for the antenna 2 as D2, that means directivity of antenna 2 is proportional to the effective aperture or the maximum effective aperture of the antenna 2, because we know that the directivity is related with the effective aperture of the antenna. So we can write this equation. Now we can write this equation as in terms of the ratio as a D1 upon D2 is equals to AE1 maximum upon AE2 maximum. Let's consider antenna 1 is isotropic. So we know that the isotropic antenna directivity is 1. So we can write this equation number 3 as 1 upon D2 is equals to AE1 maximum upon AE2 maximum. Instead of D1, we have write the 1 because here we consider the antenna 1 is the isotropic antenna. So due to that, the directivity of the isotropic antenna is the 1. So we rearrange this equation. So we get this equation as a D2 is equals to AE2 maximum upon AE1 maximum. And we can also write this equation in the form of as the AE1 maximum, that means effective aperture of the antenna 1 is equals to AE2 maximum effective aperture of the antenna 2 upon D2, that means the directivity of the second antenna. Let us assume, now we assume that the antenna 2B the test antenna which is short dipole. Now here we consider the antenna 2 as a short dipole antenna and antenna 1 as a isotropic antenna. So here now we consider the antenna 2 as a short dipole antenna. So we know that for the short dipole antenna maximum effective aperture is 3 upon 8 pi into lambda square, and the directivity of that antenna, that means short dipole antenna directivity is the 3/2. So now we put this value in the equation number 4. So we get AE1 maximum is equals to 3/8, 3 upon 8 pi lambda square upon 3/2. So when we solve this equation, so we get the effective aperture of, or the maximum effective aperture of antenna 1 as lambda square upon 4 pi. Here the lambda is the wavelength. Now putting the value of the AE1 maximum in the expression for the D2 in the equation number 4. So now here we substitute the value of the AE1 maximum that we get in the main equation of the D2. So we get the equation as D2 is equals to 4 pi upon lambda square AE2 maximum. So here we can see this is a relation between the directivity and effective aperture. Hence, in a general, we can write as D is equals to 4 pi upon lambda square AE maximum. So this is the relation between the directivity and effective aperture. D is equals to 4 pi upon lambda square AE maximum. And here the lambda is the wavelength and A is indicate the effective aperture and D is indicate the directivity. So the maximum effective aperture can be expressed in terms of the effective length. Now here we write the equation for in the terms of the effective length. So as AE maximum is equals to L effective square eta 0 4 into R radiate. R radiate is nothing but the radiation resistance. So putting the value of this in a general expression of the D, that means in the equation number 6. Now here we put this value for the AE maximum. So we get the D is equals to 4 pi upon lambda square L effective square eta 0 upon 4 R radiate. So now we can write this equation as D is equals to pi upon lambda square into L square effective eta 0 upon R radiate. So here this is the relation between the effective length and directivity. So here the last equation is to indicate the relation between the effective length and directivity, and this equation number 6 is indicate the relation between the directivity and effective aperture. Now we discuss about the antenna aperture. So first one aperture of the antenna we discuss is the scattering aperture. So the ratio of power received by radiation resistance, that means R radiate, to the average power density is called or is known as the scattering aperture, and it is denoted by AS and it is measured in the meter square. So the equation for the scattering aperture is AS is equals to I square RMS into R radiate upon P average. So the ratio of the radiating resistance R and the average power is known as the scattering aperture. Using the equivalent current of the antenna, we can write this equation as, or for the IRMS value is the VA upon RL plus RA square XL plus XA square. So we can write this equation as AS is equals to, that means scattering aperture is equals to VA square into R radiate upon RL plus RA square plus XL plus XA square into P average. Here the P average is considered in the subscript. Now next one is the scattering aperture. Now here we also discuss about the, for the maximum power transfer condition, the RL is equals to RA is equals to R radiate. Here we assume, and R loss is equals to 0, because we know that the maximum power is transferred when the R loss is equals to 0 and XL is equals to minus XA. This is the condition for the maximum power transmission. So we get the equation as AS maximum is equals to VA square upon R for R radiate into P average. So this is nothing but the effective aperture or the maximum effective aperture. Now scattering ratio. The ratio of scattering aperture to the antenna to its effective aperture is known as the scattering ratio, and it is denoted by the beta, and the equation for this is the beta is equals to AS upon AE. So this is the scattering ratio. Now next one aperture is the loss aperture, AL. It is defined as the ratio of power dissipated by the loss resistance of an antenna to the average power density at a point, and it is denoted by the AL, and the equation for the loss aperture is AL is equals to I square RMS into R loss upon P average. Now we substitute the value of the IRMS, that means RMS current value, in this equation. So we get the AI is equals to VA square into R loss upon RL plus RA square XL plus XA square into P average. But here the RA is nothing but the R radiate plus R loss, that means radiation resistance plus loss resistance. So we can write the equation as AL is equals to VA square into R loss and RL plus R radiate plus R loss XL plus XA square into P average. Now next one is the collecting aperture. So as the name suggests, the collecting aperture is the sum of effective aperture, scattering aperture and the loss aperture. So we can write as a AC, that means collecting aperture equals to AE plus AS plus AL. So for the equation we know that for the AC is equals to, for the effective aperture, I square RMS RL upon P average. For the scattering aperture, I square RMS R radiate upon P average, and for the this loss aperture, I square RMS into R loss upon P average. So here we I square RMS we have taken the common, so we can write this equation as AC is equals to I square RMS into bracket RL plus R radiate plus R loss upon P average. So this is the collecting aperture equation. Now we discuss next one is the physical aperture. The physical aperture is defined as actual physical cross-section of the antenna normal to the direction of propagation of electromagnetic wave towards an antenna which is set for maximum response. When the losses are assumed to be zero, then AP is equals to AE. That means physical aperture is equals to effective aperture when the loss is zero. And next we discuss about the absorption ratio. The ratio of the maximum effective aperture to the physical aperture of antenna is known as absorption ratio. So we can denote the absorption ratio as gamma. Gamma is equals to AE maximum upon AP. That means maximum effective aperture upon physical aperture. This is known as the absorption ratio. Now next one is the antenna polarization. So now the question comes in our mind, what is polarization? So the definition is, the polarization is nothing but the physical orientation of the electromagnetic wave in the free space. We know that the antenna is radiate the electromagnetic wave, and the orientation of electromagnetic wave in a free space we can define by using the polarization. Polarization of antenna in given direction is as the polarization of wave transmitted by the antenna. And the types of polarization is, the first one type of polarization is the linear polarization. Second one type of polarization is the circular polarization, and last one is the elliptical polarization. So these are the types of the polarization. Now we discuss one by one. So first we discuss about the linear polarization. The electric field vector are oriented in the same direction in the space. So in this polarization, the electric field vector are oriented in the same direction in the space. Here we can see the figure for the linear polarization. The linear polarization has two types. First one is the vertical polarization and horizontal polarization. The electric field progress in the direction of the propagation in vertical plane. So in the vertical polarization, the electric field progress in the direction of propagation in vertical plane. Same as in the opposite, the horizontal polarization. So here in the horizontal polarization, the electric field progress or propagate in the direction of the propagation in the horizontal plane. So this is the linear polarization. Now next one is the circular polarization. The electric field vector rotate in the circular fashion as it progresses in the direction of propagation. Now the circular polarization has two types. First one is the right hand side circular polarization and second one is the left hand side circular polarization. So right hand side circular polarization. So in the right hand side circular polarization, the electric field vector rotate in the clockwise manner as it recedes in the direction of propagation. So here the electric field vector is rotate in the direction of the clockwise direction. And in the left hand side circular polarization, the electric field vector rotate a counterclockwise, that means in the anti-clockwise direction manner, it recedes in the direction of propagation. So this is the now third one type of polarization is the elliptical polarization. So this is the figure for the elliptical polarization. So the elliptical polarization is the polarization of electromagnetic radiation such that the tip of the electric field vector describes an ellipse in any fixed plane interacting and normal to the direction of propagation. Now we discuss about the antenna temperature. Antenna temperature is denoted as a TA, is a parameter that describes how much noise an antenna produces in given environment. This temperature is not the physical temperature of antenna. So here we do not discuss about the physical temperature of the antenna. Antenna temperature is also sometimes referred as the antenna noise temperature. The noise power received from the antenna at the temperature TA can be expressed in terms of the bandwidth B as P is equals to KTA into B. So here this P is indicate the noise power and this K is the Boltzmann constant and the value for the K is 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23. And P is the noise power, B is the noise bandwidth, and here the TA is a noise temperature. So practically thermal noise is component of the receiver system. The receiver itself has certain noise temperature TR. So we can write for the receiver noise temperature as a, so the PS is equals to K into TA plus TR into B. This means the TA plus TR, that means as a transmitting side and as a receiving side. So we can write this equation as a TA plus TR is equal to nothing but a TS, that means the system noise temperature. So T system is denoted the effective system noise temperature. Let us effective aperture of the antenna A, then the power density per unit beamwidth is produced in the direction of radiation. This is called the flux density and it is denoted as P is equals to S into A into B. So the flux density of antenna is given by S is equals to KTA upon AE. And TA, so we can write as a TA is equals to S AE upon K. If the size of antenna is small compared to the beam solid angle, then the source temperature is given by Ts is equals to Ohme upon Ohms. So here the Ohme is indicate the beam solid angle, Ohms is indicate the source solid angle, and Ta is the antenna noise temperature. So this equation is the relation between the antenna noise temperature and effective aperture, and this equation is the antenna noise temperature and relation between the antenna noise temperature and solid angle. So this is the antenna temperature. So in this lecture, first we discuss about the relation between the directive gain, radiation resistance and effective length. Then we discuss about the type of antenna aperture, then antenna polarization, and last we discuss about the antenna temperature. Thank you.